What's going on, guys? PXCam20 back again with a brand new video. We are here at my favorite track, Spa-Francorchamps, in the Super Formula cars, as we are starting in 10th here, and actually someone disconnects, so we actually move up into 9th place as we jump before the race. And if you guys haven't yet, we're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. That's going to be our yearly goal. So if you guys really like this content, subscribe down below as we post daily content of GT Sport, and leave a like on the videos. That really helps out the channel too. Anyways, that's enough promoting myself. Let's jump straight into this race. We are starting in 9th in the Mercedes livery that they ran in Monaco right after the passing of Niki Lauda. And we are here starting off in 9th place as we jump into the race here, coming into La Source. We go very, very slow into La Source as we try to be as cautious as we can, but we accidentally get punted by the Brazilian and we lose. We actually gained positions there, so we go all the way to the podium, but unfortunately we get a penalty. Although we were the victims, we still get a penalty. Just GT Sport penalties. I mean, I don't know. Doesn't make any sense, but we jump up into the penalty zone and you see all the cars just passing us left and right. And inside of us too, as some car goes inside of us and passes us as we head into Lecomte and Mallory. The car actually goes spinning out. It was like to the right-hander right here, and we are in 12th now. So that was an easy position as we head to Brussels. And 11th and 12th, or not 11th, 12th, but 11th, 10th, and 9th, they're fighting very, very hard right in front of us as we try to make a move into 11, into No Name. And we kind of back out of there as 11th is able to get past us, or not get past us, but pull away from us heading into the double gauche. And we passed the 50-meter board there, heading to the two left-handers, and we see the 9th place actually goes a little wide. That slows down 10th, and we're able to gain 2 positions going into that downhill left-hander as we jump into the bus stop chicane. And we go into the right and to the left, and you see the gaggle of cars still ahead of us as we have to kind of back out of it so we don't run into the back of anybody heading down the main straight going into La Source. And now we're right behind 9th and all these cars right ahead of us. So let's try to see if we can try to make a move down here. We try to make a move on the inside, kind of a little late, so we let 8th go through, but he pushes the, I guess, the livery of the Ferrari out onto the outside, and he loses a position, so that gives us another position, pushes us all the way to 9th as we use our overtake button to try to catch up to 8th. We don't get enough speed heading into the right-hander and the left-hander, but we do get pushed out wide as we head into the right-hander, and I accidentally pushed the Brazilian out as we try to gain back onto the track, so he goes out, and another car actually hits the gravel trap and loses the position, so we move all the way up into 8th. So now we have the Brazilian that I hope I didn't make angry behind us as when we were going back into the track. We hit him, but we have him right behind us as we head into the two left-handers, and the 7th place has a penalty. So we're going to try to see if we could try to make a move on 7th, or at least try to stay behind him until the penalty zone if he doesn't hold us up. But you see right there, he's kind of holding us up as we make a right into the right-hander and the left-hander here. We make a very daring move. Try to make it a move on the outside as we head into the right-hander here, and he actually pushes us wide a little bit, and the Ferrari just takes him out, and the Brazilian is actually right next to us and makes an overtake on the outside, so we lose a position there as the Brazilian gets pushed out again. Really, really bad luck for him, unfortunately, as we head into Blanchimont, and we're going to try to make a move on the inside on 6. Are we going to be able to make a stick? Yes, we are, as we get ahead of him. Now we use the overtake button to try to pull away from him as we come into the chicane. Are we going to be able to hold it? Yes, we are. As the car behind us almost rams into us, and he actually pushes out 7th. So that is 6th place for us as we head into lap number 5. So coming into lap number 5, we have a car right behind us trying to battle for us for 5th place, as we do have to serve a 0.5 of a second penalty since we ran wide on one of the corners. As we head into the bus stop chicane, you see right there that he's trying to make a move on the inside, and we just let him have it, as there's going to be no point in fighting him as we head off of the chicane heading into La Source. So now we're back on the straightaway, and we're right behind 5th place as we head into La Source. Break right after the 100-meter board, try to get a good entrance and a good exit out, as we actually come in a little too hot, get a really, really bad exit, so we have to use a little bit of our overtaking button and get behind the slipstream of 5th place. So now we're behind the slipstream of 5th place going into Eau Rouge and Radion. And we get the good entrance and a good exit out of Radion. So we get a huge amount of speed. Getting into the slipstream, trying to pull the maneuver and an overtake on the outside before we hit the penalty zone. Hit the penalty zone and we lose 5th place again, but we don't lose that much time behind 5th place. So we might be able to fight him again as we jump up into lap number 9. Nothing really happened throughout the rest of the race. So the Basically, it was just a catch-up race, trying to catch up to these first, what is this, third, fourth, and fifth cars right in front of us. So now, coming to the final lap, we're heading to La Source again, and fifth and fourth are actually battling side by side, so that's going to cost them time and get us closer to them, as we still have a little bit of overtake juice in the battery there. So we go into the straightaway, heading into Rouge and Radion, and we hit the left apex, we hit the right apex, we hit the left apex of Radion, and we try to make a move on the slipstream here. Are we going to be able to use the rest of our overtake? We do. We make a move on the Ferrari. We try to make a move on fourth place here as we go into the club. And are we going to be able to make it? Yes, we do. We only get one position, but we're still behind the fourth place guys. We're actually getting overtaken again on the right-hander by the Ferrari. And we lose that position there as we head into the right-hander, the downhill right-hander. Now we have the Ferrari right ahead of us and the car behind us, right behind us. So we're going to have to just hit all our apexes and make no mistakes, so we can try to at least make a run down Blanchimont and on this back straightaway to hopefully make a move, as we are actually losing fifth place now. Going into the chicane, are we going to be able to make up some time here? We brake as late as we can, and fifth and fourth actually make contact there. So are we going to be able to make a move here coming out of the end of the chicane? We are trying to make a move on the outside. We get on the gas as soon as we can without spinning out the tires, and no, we get sixth place. So very, very close battle there coming out of the chicane as we jump into our next race here. And you see the red lights are there and they go out, and we are starting in fourth for this race. So we actually have a better starting position here, but I'm kind of a little worried because we might get pushed out as we go very, very wide coming into La Source, and we still get bumped out wide. So we lose 2 positions, now 3 positions, 4 positions, 5. So we're just losing positions left and right now as we head into the straightaway, heading into Radion and Rouge. So now we go into up on Rouge, down past Radion, and we're right behind 8th place as we head into this, the Camel Straight. And let's see if we can try to make any maneuvers there. So we actually make an overtake on the guy that's had to serve a penalty. 6th place brakes really, really early as we go right behind the Ferrari, and we actually get bumped out wide. And I try to make it as safely as I can back onto the racetrack, but we get spun out. And I thought it was my fault because I thought I had rejoined the racetrack just a little too aggressively. But if we go back to the replay, you see right here, we get bumped out by the BMW, and the BMW actually tries to get back on the track, but he gets hit out again by the yellow car. His back tires hit my back tires, and I end up going spinning as we jump back into the track. So I felt a little bit better after that because I knew it wasn't really my fault. I tried rejoining the track as safely as I can, but it's really, really difficult on this race, especially because everyone's just flying at full speed. But anyways, we jump up into further into lap 1, and we're right behind the BMW powered car that bumped us out of the way and actually spun us out on the beginning of lap 1. And we actually see a car ghost out, so he must have been taken out as we head into the back straightaway, heading into Blanchimont. And we head into the chicane here on the end of lap number 1. We try to make a move on the inside of the BMW, but we are unable to successfully make the overtake. But 11th actually goes a little bit wide and slows down the BMW. So we're going to try to use our overtake and some of the power that we got coming out of the chicane as we get into La Source. Brakes very, very late, position number 11. And the BMW is on the outside of us. We get a little tap from behind as the car goes spinning ahead of us, and we lose that position there to the BMW. So we get an overtake on him coming out of the chicane, but we lose it coming out of La Source as we head into Rouge and Radion again. We go behind the slipstream of the BMW as we try to get behind him and the car that has to serve the penalty. We use a little bit of our overtake, try to find a line, which one we can take. We get past the car that had to serve the penalty. You see a car ahead of us actually ghosting in, so hoping that he doesn't ghost out right here, and he actually does. So we kind of make a little bit of contact, but we're able to keep it as clean as we can as we make a move on the BMW heading to the right-hander. So now we're behind this 9th place guy as we head into the right-hander here, heading into the back straightaway as we make a little bit of contact with him. We give him the space back as we try to race him as clean as we can, but we're just going to lose too much momentum if we let him go by too far. So we race him side by side as we head into Blanchimont, but I give him the space there, give him the inside as another car actually tries to make an overtake on the inside. Are we going to be able to make it into the chicane 3x3 into the chicane? Brake as late as we can. We actually brake a little too late. I'll brake ourselves, try to get back into the track, pull it all the way to the left, and I actually bumped out 11. So I let him get the position back. As you see right there, I slowed down and I let the Canadian get the position back as I felt, that was my fault. I braked way too late into the chicane and bumped him out. So heading down to La Source, we're actually getting overtaken by another car. So we lose 3 position in the attempt to overtake 9th place. I guess you lose 4 as the Brazilian gets past us, heading down the straight to Eau Rouge. So now it's just getting back to the slipstream. As you see, the 2 cars ahead of us are banging into each other, banging into each other. As we head down the Camel Straight, we're trying to make a move on the outside. We actually get a hit on the outside, and the momentum from that hit pushes out into the grass. And we see the car ahead of us actually has to serve a penalty. As we try to stay on the slipstream behind the Brazilian, we move right and left, weaving left and right. As we make the corner, somehow, miraculously, as I thought I braked way too late and almost hit the Brazilian. We go into the right-hander here, and we stay in 12th. So now, heading down this black straightaway into Blanchimont, we're in the slipstream of 11th place. So we try to make a move on the outside. Are we going to be able to make a move on the outside of Blanchimont? As we're going out, and we make it stick. Yes, we do, and we actually get the overtake done as we try to cover the inside going into the chicane. Break as late as we can, but the Canadian tries to make a maneuver on the outside that's going to turn into the inside and actually forces us out wide. I can't speak, as we head down the main straight. And now we're getting pressured by 13th heading into La Source. So we brake as late as we can into La Source as we try to cover our position. And luckily 13th didn't try to make it an attempt on an overtake as we stay in 12th heading into the 4th lap down the Camel Straight. Now we get a good slipstream and a good run off of Rodion heading into the right-hander here. And we actually get bumped by the Canadian. So we make the overtake and get bumped by the Canadian. So that's going to give us clean room. As we head into the end of lap 4, we are actually caught up to 10th place as we try to make a move on the outside. We take a little look on the outside of the chicane, but 10th place had the spot covered as he come out of the chicane. He actually slowed down a little bit, so we had to slow down behind him. And now we're right behind him heading into La Source. So let's try to make a good exit as we head into La Source. We do get a good exit. We just use some of the overtaking power. We try to get in the slipstream of 10th place. And we're actually getting a ton of time on him as we're going to head into Eau Rouge. We're going to go side by side into Eau Rouge. We make it into the inside. We go into the outside of Rodion. And we make one of the best overtakes I've ever made, probably in the past month on this game. As we made an awesome overtake going into Eau Rouge. Going into this right-hander. 7th place actually runs out wide. So we're able to make the position up there because he ran wide and ghosted out. As you see right ahead of us, the 6th place car actually has a penalty, so we're going to try to make a move on the inside that's going to lead us into the outside of No Name. But he actually lets us go through, so fair play to him. Thank you for giving us that position and not forcing us to race hard even though you had a penalty. So now we jump up into lap number 10, so the final lap of the race, and you see 5th place is right ahead of us. So I'm desperately going to try to make any type of maneuver I can to get into 5th place as we started all the way in 4th, dropped all the way back to 13th position, and we were able to fight our way and claw our way back into 6th place. So heading down the Camel Straight for the final time, we're trying to make a move on the inside. We used up almost all of our overtaking juice, but we have to back out of the move there as 5th place had the position going into the right-hander. We try to stay behind him as we come out of the right-hander here and going down to the downhill right-hander. We stay behind 5th place as we brake as late as we can, and heading into No Name here. We actually lose a little bit of time there, so now my main focus is just to try to stay as close as we can to 5th place and maybe hopefully make us attempt a move on the black straightaway heading into Blanchimont. As we head into the back straightaway here, we're still right behind him on the slipstream, but we are out of overtaking juice, so we try to make a maneuver. We pull out to the outside and head into Blanchimont, and we try to see if we can make it work. 5th place actually bumps us out wide, and we try to get back into the track, but he bumps us out again. We head into the grass, hit the 150-meter board, and brake very, very late. We make contact with him heading into the chicane, heading onto the outside off of the chicane, and he bumps us out wide again, but he has a 7-second penalty. I think after he pushed us into the grass, he got a 7-second penalty, and that gives us 5th place. Awesome, awesome final lap there as we've pushed our hardest to try to get 5th place from the yellow car, but yeah, we were able to make that happen. So not a bad result for this race. It's not one of my best races, but very, very entertaining and awesome race. Anyways, if you guys really enjoyed that race, subscribe down to the channel, leave a like on the video. Again, helps us out on the YouTube algorithm if you guys leave a like. Again, we're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, so if you guys really like the content, subscribe down below. and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.